Hello everybody, this is part 4 of our series of tutorials for making the classic desk lamp, and today I'm going to show you developing pole part D here. We're going to go through that, and then we're going to go through how to bring in nuts and bolts and fasteners from an external library or shop into your CAD model. Okay, so you may have finished the last session with something that looks a bit like this, and I spoke to you a little bit about the move tool. And if your drawing looks like this for now, I would recommend you just delete the last move here from the library, so that will kind of undo it, and you have your part like this to begin with. Now then, what we're going to do is we're going to draw onto the bottom part of this component, but at the moment, with the way we've got things, it would be quite confusing to do that because these are in the way. And so what I'm going to show you now is that this eye icon is for the visibility of certain parts. So if I press this one, that pole will disappear. It's still there, but it just turns the visibility off. So for this next part, I'm simply going to turn these three things off. Sorry, I want this one on, but I'm going to turn these three off. And what I'm going to do is I am going to just quickly check which side that's on by turning it on and off. And I want to draw on this face. So I'm going to use Shift and the roller as a button to just orientate my view. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to say new sketch on this face. And I'm going to press R for rectangle. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to draw a rectangle just on here. Now, I'm not too worried at this stage about the size of it because I'm going to use the dimension tool, which is up here, to dictate the size. And so I'm going to use the center point of the circle to help me do this. So I'm going to say the distance from the center to this line. So that's 2 clicks, one on the center, one on the line. And I'm going to drag it up here. And I want that to be 2.5 mil. I'm going to press it again. I'm going to say from here to here. I'm going to drag it this way just for space. I'm going to say 2.5. So it's always 3 clicks. It's one on the first thing you're trying to measure. You move over the second thing, we're going to click that. And then the third click, we always move out the way and then click a third time. And I will make this 8 millimeters, and I'll do the same on the other side. So from here to here, out this way, 8 mil. So now we have it perfectly central and in line with the center of the circle. It's all very consistent. Next, we're going to extrude that. I'm going to just use the roller pan feature by pressing the roller as a button to just help me orientate the view and get it in position. I'm going to press E for extrude, and I'm going to select all these parts of the rectangle, and I'm going to drag it downwards. And I might just turn on this part now so I can see how deep it's going to go into that component. And I'm going to go 18 or 20 mil. We'll go 20 mil down. Now, something went wrong there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo that, or I'm going to double check my extrusion. What happened? If I double click this, it will activate the extrusion. In fact, let me just do an undo. I'll try that again. I'm not sure what I pressed there, and if that happens, I always recommend you undo to try it again. So I'll press extrude again. I'm going to press those three. I'm going to bring it down. Now, it might be because my extrusion window seems to have disappeared, and so I'm going to bring this over to have a look. Join 24. That all looks good. I press OK. Not sure why. I must have pressed something by mistake. But if ever that happens and it seems to not do what you're expecting, just undo a couple of times, try and redo it, be a bit more careful, and it usually then does what you expect. It happens to all of us that, so it's worth mentioning. So now if I reveal all these again, I have this part that's going to connect into that part there. I'm going to just orientate the view, just have a quick look to make sure it's as I expect. And I'm going to use the fit zoom button as well. So this is what you want at this stage. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to move this up a little bit and then use it to cut into the bottom part. So I'm going to use the move tool. I'm going to select this component. I'm going to use this arrow to move it up. 10 millimeters might be a bit too far. I'm just going to say 5 because what I want to do is I want to use this to cut into this piece. And I want the cut to be quite deep, and then I'm going to move the part. So I've just realized I'm actually going to delete that, and I'm going to do the cut now. So I'm going to use the combine tool. The target body is this one. The tool body is this one. I'm going to keep the tool. I'm going to cut. I'm going to press OK, and now I'm going to move it out the way. So I'm going to click that. I'm going to move it up. So I'll do that up to there just to show you it's cut through, which is what we want. But I want it just to have a little bit of clearance here and here. So I'm just going to put it to about 5 mil so that there's a bit of clearance there, and I'm going to press OK. And this is what you want at this stage. So you want to have a groove in this part C, part A, and then we want to have part D with this kind of rectangular mass attached to it, and then we want it to cut a groove in here and then just move it up a little bit so there's a little bit of clearance here, and that's what you want at this stage. Okay, once you've done that, you can just add a few nice fillets if you like to develop the form of this. We can add some here. I will make that maybe 5 mil. See how that looks. That looks a bit nicer. I might go 4 mil. I quite like that. I might add some to the bottom part here as well, all around this. I'm going to rotate the other side and do this at the same time. 3 mil. Doesn't seem to like that, so I'm just going to reduce it. Okay, so if that error message comes up, it's just because the size of the fillet overlaps too much, so you have to reduce it. So I've done that down to 1 millimeter now, and the form, as you can see, looks a bit nicer and less bulky. And so we're going to just go with that for now. Now then, the next part we're going to do, the idea is that we're going to put a bolt through here and eventually have it so that this arm can bend and we can actually show how it will work. Now, whenever you have a CAD drawing and you want to, you know, your idea or your design would involve any fastener of any type. So that could be a hinge, it could be a nut, a bolt, a screw. Students in the past sometimes endeavour to draw those things out, but it can be quite frustrating. And there's actually a real quite nice easy way in Fusion 360 to bring them in from a library. It's like buying them from a shop almost and adding them to your drawing. And the way we do that is we go insert, and it's this part here, insert McMaster car component. Okay, and as it says, you can browse all desired components and bring in the file and save them in your drawing. So we're going to do that. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a bolt to begin with. So we're going to search bolt, and I would like it to be, we're going to always use metric. We're going to get an M6 bolt, and what that means is the M6, it's basically the diameter of this part of the bolt. So how the diameter of this part. So we're going to scroll down. We want a 6 mil diameter, so we're going to take that. And for this design, we're just going to use a square neck bolt like this. So then you click that. Then in this window, we're going to scroll down, and then here it has the length of the bolt. So the M6 is the diameter, and then this next size is the length of this part. So we're going to go down. We're going to get a 16 mil one, and we're going to click the component here. And in industry, I believe people use this in actual shops, so you can actually order it from this company. But we don't want that. We just want the CAD part. So we can go product detail here. And then on this window, it gives you a bit of a preview. It's quite nice. If you scroll down, it gives you an orthographic view as well. So you can quickly check that to make sure you've got the sizes that you want. So as we said, M6 and 16 mil length. But it's this window here you're looking for to download it. So we go here, we click that to step file, and we hit download, and then you'll see a new component will arrive. Once it's loaded, that is our bolt, and it's brought it into the drawing. So I'll just bring that up, and you can see, press return, and there's the bolt that we have just ordered, if you like. Okay. So for this drawing, we're going to bring in two components. We're going to bring a wing nut to go with that. So we're going to go through the process again. Insert McMaster car. We're going to type in wing nut. Okay. We're going to go metric again, M6. So we want this M6 diameter again. And with this one, I'm just going to take this top one here. I'm going to go product detail, step file, that's what we want. Hit download, and there we have it. And so there we go. And press OK. And that is it for today's tutorial. I hope that's useful. Next time we're going to look at how we create a new work plane to help us draw a hole that will go through this and position these where we want them, and then use the bolt to cut the square in the side of the component of this pole as well to help us with that fixture. Okay.